Okay, we're here to talk about some of the frequently asked questions about some of the operating conditions that you can use your Paslode Cordless framing nailer in. And one of the things that's unique about this tool, because it's an engine in here, kind of like an internal combustion engine, is it is sensitive to the cold. It is sensitive to some conditions. In the cold, a lot of times guys will take the fuel cells and put them in their jacket pocket, and it'll keep the fuel warm, and that will really help you out when you're first starting out in the morning. Same thing with the tool. If you leave your tool in your truck on your way to your job site, it'll really help the performance, because below about freezing is where you're really going to see some difficulty with the engine staying warm. But once it gets warmed up, you should be good to go. But try some of those tricks, keeping the fuel cell in your jacket pocket. Sometimes you have to double pump in the cold to get it going. But once it warms up, it'll work like a champ for you. Another question is regarding altitude. Because as you get to the higher altitudes, it's got less oxygen to breathe in this engine, it does get more difficult for it. But if you're using our fuel nail packs with the Power Boost tip coating, you can get up to about 6,000 feet above sea level and not have any problems. It'll still drive with enough energy and you should be good to go. Above about 6,000, you need to get special valves, especially if you're using the older style tools with the red fuel cells. Sometimes people will get a condition we call blank fire, where you're driving the tool will fire but you won't drive a nail. That's a common condition if you have a nail jam and nothing's coming out. The best way to clear that nail jam is to take your Allen wrench that's included with your case and remove the two screws on either side of the nose here. After those are removed, you can basically separate these two sections of the tool, and it'll expose the jam. When you're done clearing that jam, make sure that the driver blade is pushed back up so that you're ready to drive the next nail. Just put it all back together with the 4 screws and you're good to go again. Sometimes you'll hear what we call a poof sound, where the engine fires, the engine actually combusts, but it's not enough energy to drive the nail. That's indicative a lot of times of a jam nail. So go ahead and clear that jam and you should be good to go. Another thing that is curious to people, that when their tool isn't operating and they'll see a red and green light flashing, that's an indication that there might be a fault in the wiring or in the fan. So sometimes that happens from when people go and clean their tool and they take the cap off, and when they put everything back together they get a pinched wire or a bent wire. So go ahead and check those first. That's typically what's going on, is you have a pinched fan wire. Otherwise, as soon as you have that green light again, you should be good to go.